You know, it's wild how a simple hotel check-in could spiral into something nobody expected, but that's exactly what happened to Maya and her son Caleb at the Horizon Grand Hotel in downtown Atlanta. Picture this. Maya, a calm, no-nonsense businesswoman in her mid-40s, walks in just after 7 p.m. with her 10-year-old son, Caleb, who's buzzing with excitement about the pool and birthday weekend ahead. She's dressed casually blazer, jeans, no makeup, just a mom trying to give her son a treat. What most people don't know is Maya owns 25% of Horizon Hospitality, the company that runs the hotel. She's the third largest shareholder. Yeah, you heard that right. But none of that mattered when she walked through those doors. The moment she reached the front desk, Sarah Mitchell, a front desk clerk with a fake smile and thinly veiled disdain, looked her up and down and said flat out, "You people should try a motel on the south side, or better yet, sleep in your car. This hotel isn't for your kind." Not a whisper, not a mumble she meant for everyone to hear. Caleb squeezed Maya's hand, confused and scared, while Maya held it together. She pulled up her phone to show the booking confirmation she'd reserved the VIP suite weeks ago. But Sarah just waved it off, claiming the system was wrong and to try someplace else. Then Emily, another clerk, muttered loud enough for them to hear, "Try a slum motel. This isn't for you." Caleb looked up, voice barely above a whisper. "Mom, why are they being mean?" Before Maya could answer, a white man named Arthur Prescott stepped forward, sliding a $200 bill across the counter to Sarah and snarling, "Get them out. They don't belong here." Sarah pocketed the cash and told Maya with a new, harsher tone to leave immediately. Maya stood firm, refusing to be pushed out of the place she partially owned. The hotel manager, David Holt, appeared and backed the staff, calling it a guest complaint and accusing Maya of causing a disruption. But then something shifted. Michael Chun, a guest in the lobby, stepped in holding up his phone. "Wait a minute, this is wrong. They're just trying to check in." "I saw the whole thing," he said as he started recording. Within minutes, his video was spreading online with the caption, "Black CEO and son kicked out of their own hotel," racking up thousands of views before Maya even left the lobby. Sarah's tone sharpened, demanding they leave or face security escort. Caleb, hiding behind his mom, whispered, "Are we in trouble?" Maya hugged him tight and said, "No, sweetheart, we're not going anywhere." An intern at the hotel, Priya Sharma, looked visibly shaken, whispering to Maya's assistant Lauren that something wasn't right. Maya insisted on booking the VIP suite under her name again, but Sarah rolled her eyes and lied that the reservation was flagged and the payment invalid, all while Arthur's money had clearly influenced their actions. Michael overheard Emily say, "They don't look rich," and caught it all on camera. Caleb looked up braver this time. "Mom, they're wrong, right?" Maya nodded. "Eyes steady. That's right, baby. We're not in trouble. They just don't know who they're dealing with yet." Guests started murmuring, pulling out phones. Laura Bennett, a regular, said loudly, "I've stayed here for years, and I've never seen anything like this." Priya, the intern, grew bolder, saying, "This isn't right," while Sarah began furiously canceling Maya's reservation in front of everyone. Michael's jaw dropped. "She just deleted it," he said, watching it happen. Security Officer James Tucker approached slowly, the tension thickening like a storm about to break. David Holt barked orders to escort Maya and Caleb out, but James hesitated. Maya turned to him, voice low and razor-sharp. "You really want to put your hands on the third largest shareholder of this company?" That made James blink, caught off guard. Emily scoffed. "You're bluffing. A woman like you doesn't own anything here." But Maya didn't even bother answering. She was done explaining. Instead, she stared them down, voice calm but full of steel. "You've gone from unethical to unlawful in less than 10 minutes. Let me back up a sec. Maya's story isn't new. Years ago, at 30, she pitched a hospitality tech idea in Silicon Valley, only to be told she looked like someone who should be serving coffee, not asking for six figures. Humiliated but undeterred, she built her empire hotel by hotel, investment by investment. She didn't need validation from a front desk clerk. She was the board, and it was time they found out. Michael's video exploded, hitting over 2 million views. Priya finally spoke louder, accusing Sarah of taking the bribe and altering the reservation. Sarah snapped, denying it, but her voice cracked. Emily tried deflecting with company policy, but even she sounded uncertain. The lobby buzzed with tension whispers, turning into murmurs of support from Maya. Caleb, now more confident, told Sarah, "You shouldn't treat people like that." Laura stepped forward. "That child just taught you more about decency than your whole training manual." Maya knelt beside Caleb, whispering, "We're not moving. We're not leaving." Around them, the crowd grew, guests filming, watching a quiet reckoning unfold. Sarah panicked, mumbling that they didn't know who Maya was, but Maya's gaze cut through the denial. That's the difference between ignorance and prejudice. One is accidental, the other's a choice. Michael's phone buzzed again. The video passed 300,000 views in minutes. "This whole lobby just became America's hotel lobby," he said. David Holt tried to regain control, ordering security again, but James backed off, refusing to escalate. Emily lunged at Michael's phone, trying to stop the recording. Laura stepped in firmly. "Step away. You've done enough." The staff unraveled in front of cameras, their facade cracked. "You're finished, Sarah," Maya said simply. "Every camera in this room will make sure of that." Sarah stood silent. Emily muttered about overreacting. Arthur Prescott, still smug, grumbled, "Y'all love to play the victim," but no one was listening. The tide of public opinion was shifting fast. Then Priya stepped forward with something no one expected: a confession. "We were trained to prioritize guests who look like money," she said softly but clearly. "It wasn't just me. It was the system." That statement landed like a thunderclap, guests gasping, some nodding. An older man in the back muttered, "Same old game." Maya locked eyes on David Holt, her voice steady but cutting. "You build a culture of exclusion." Sarah and Emily faltered. James folded his arms, no longer backing management. Sarah tried to hide behind policy, but Maya cut through it. "You were following prejudice, not procedure. Don't hide behind a manual you chose to misread." Caleb, clutching his mom's hand, asked, "Why would someone train you to be unfair?" It was an honest, soft question that hit harder than any argument. Priya crouched down to Caleb's level. "They told me to trust what I see, but never to question what I don't." Maya nodded, appreciative but firm, "And now you're learning. So let's keep learning." Michael's video surged past 5 million views, comments flooding with support, calls for justice. Maya turned to Sarah, voice careful. "Your words to my son, your tone. Your insults are now public record. You can't erase them. You can't walk them back. All you can do is admit what you did." Sarah's voice cracked. "We thought she didn't belong in a VIP suite because of how she dressed, because she wasn't carrying a designer bag, because my son wore sneakers instead of loafers." The room went silent. Even Arthur's smirk faded. Caleb stepped forward, voice louder. "She's more than the kind of person who books a suite. She owns this hotel." Whispers rippled again. Maya's assistant Lauren announced that the company's board was already reviewing the footage and the branch director, Robert Evans, was on his way. When Robert arrived, the room fell silent. He looked around at the guilty staff, then turned to Maya. "You okay?" he asked. Maya nodded, recounting the humiliations and prejudice she and Caleb endured. Robert then addressed the staff one by one. "You all recognize Ms. Reynolds, don't you?" "Nonsense. She's not just a guest. She's the third largest shareholder. She owns 25% of Horizon Hospitality. And if she wanted, she could have all your jobs by midnight." Sarah stammered. Maya cut her off. "I'm not asking for apologies. I'm demanding accountability." Emily tried defending the staff's actions as training, but Maya was done listening. Caleb tugged at her hand. "They were wrong, Mom." And they were. Calls were made immediately for the termination of Sarah, Emily, David, and James, each complicit in the disgrace. The hotel began internal reviews and rolled out a new anti-bias training program across all locations, with Maya appointed Executive Director of Equity and Guest Experience. But the story didn't end there. A leaked internal memo surfaced months later, a document outlining a policy to prioritize guests based on visual brand alignment, basically instructing staff to profile guests by income indicators and appearances. The memo confirmed what everyone suspected. This wasn't a mistake or a few bad apples, it was institutionalized discrimination. Maya looked at the board and said, "Quiet fixes aren't enough anymore. We shine a light on this." The public had seen the lobby incident. Now they'd see the company's reckoning unfold. Months later, Horizon Hospitality was transformed. Bias training was mandatory, complaints handled transparently, and hiring practices overhauled. Maya and Caleb returned to the Horizon Grand, greeted by a new front desk team that treated every guest with respect. Caleb, once scared, now stood proud, telling his classmates, "That's where I learned fairness isn't always free, but my mom taught me you still stand for it, even if your voice shakes." The moment Sarah Mitchell appeared again, no uniform, no desk bitterness spilling out, she accused Maya of ruining her career. Maya didn't flinch. "You destroyed it the day you chose discrimination over decency." I just held up the mirror. Security escorted Sarah out as Caleb stood closer to his mom, fearless this time. Maya wasn't just a CEO or shareholder anymore. She was a mother who knew change begins when someone refuses to be pushed to the bottom. And for her and Caleb, the fight was far from over. So now, I want to ask you, when you see something like this, what's your move? Do you stay silent or stand up, even when it's uncomfortable? How do you think businesses should handle bias and discrimination before it hits the headlines? Drop your thoughts below. This isn't just a story about one hotel. It's about all of us and the kind of society we want to build.